The article I selected for critique is titled "MicroRNA 145 Functions as a Tumor Suppressor via Regulating Angiopoietin-2 in Pancreatic Cancer Cells." This article was written by Hao Wang et al. And was published in 2016 in Cancer Cell International. This article pertains to, as the title suggests, microRNA 145's role in regulating the expression of angiopoietin-2, which is responsible for the production of blood vessels, which provide the nourishment to the cells, the cancer cells, in pancreatic tumors. So to define like the key terms in this would be microRNA 145 as well as angiopoietin-2. So what a microRNA is a 19 to 25 nucleotide long non-coding RNA sequence that binds to the 3' untranslated region of target genes to regulate their expression. And in this case, the target gene is the gene that codes for angiopoietin-2, which I've already explained is responsible for blood vessel production in tumors. So overall, the abstract has all the relevant information that was needed. It is pretty much a skeleton of the paper. Instead of the objectives method, though, it had just a background information section, which gave a brief description of what microRNA 145 is and what angiopoietin-2 is. It does include the methods, the major results, as well as the conclusions. One problem with this paper is the hypotheses are not explicitly stated in the background information or introduction section of the paper. But this paper is set in the context of previous research, which the authors described as like researchers checking out the role of angiopoietin-2 and what exactly it did and which microRNAs were responsible for suppressing or regulating angiopoietin-2. I would say the paper was well organized. All the information, like relevant information for the results, was in the results section. It had separate figures in the results section as well as like descriptions of those results. The statistics were also in the results section, which were very well explained in the paper. The materials and methods section gave a very, very detailed rundown of how the experiment was performed, what different methods they used. They even gave credit to different scientists later on in the paper for who helped them like perfect their methods. I think the data tables and the figures did agree with the text. There was no mismatch of information between the descriptions and what the figures had to say. Everything all ran pretty smoothly together. The appropriate statistical tests were used. They used the ANOVA test. They used t-tests based on which study they were talking about, respectively. And the conclusions were definitely supported by the data. They did find, you can see if you look up the article, I can post a link to the article, but you can see that they posted images of the different tumors and like the treatments they used with the tumors, and you could tell the tumors with the treatment, like with more microRNA 145, a higher concentration, definitely were significantly smaller. You could see very clearly in the images. All the references that they cited were in the literature cited section, but they did it kind of different. They assigned each of their references in the literature cited a number instead of like a parenthetical citation where you include the name and the year published of that reference, they just put the number in parentheses that they had assigned to that reference. And so all the numbers and the references are listed down below in the literature cited section. Overall, the paper is very concise. It gives only the information relevant to the study, and as well as a little bit of the background information that you need to know about microRNA 145 and angiopoietin-2. I did not see any problems with punctuation, grammar, any mistakes like that throughout the entirety of the paper. And I would say if I was a peer reviewer, I would recommend this paper for publication, but I would ask that they explicitly list their hypotheses in the background information section. And I don't know exactly what the whole citation method that they used, if that's acceptable. I mean, clearly it is because they got published, but I think it provides more, what's the word I'm looking for? More more credit to someone who wrote an article if you list the name and the year published in the paper instead of just like assigning them a number and listing them a number. Other than that, great paper, great read. If you're interested in cancer, pancreatic cancer especially, I would recommend it. Thank you.